Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to Bimsy Styling YouTube channel. And if you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you for sticking to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to draft a simple off-shoulder bustier dress. So this video is very detailed and very easy to follow. It's also beginners friendly. So if this is something you're interested in, keep watching and make sure you watch to the end so you don't miss out on anything. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and also subscribe to my channel. So now let's get right into it. Here on the table I have my pattern paper. So this is an off-shoulder dress, and so the first thing is to determine how many inches you want to take off the shoulder. So for this particular pattern, I'm taking 5 inches off. You can do 4 inches, 5 inches, or 6 inches. It all depends on you. So here I placed my 5 inches, which is for the off shoulder. I placed it on the starting point line, and then I went ahead to mark my bust point, which is 10 inches, the under bust, and then I also went ahead to mark the half length for this dress. So right now I'll go ahead to mark out all the points that we just marked. I'll rule it out starting from the chest line, the bust point, under bust, and the half length. So the next thing is to get the shoulder divided by 2, and then I'll be taking that measurement on the starting point line. I'll mark it, and then to get the armhole, I'll place the 5 inches right there on the starting point line where we marked the shoulder divided by 2, and then I will mark the armhole for this particular off-shoulder dress. For this, it is 8.75 inches, which was marked there. And right there, I will then again take the shoulder divided by 2, and then I will mark it. So I'll be connecting the 2 points together like so, and also connect the armhole for this off-shoulder dress. I would rule that part also. So this is it. I will go ahead now to label the lines. We have the bust point, the under bust, and then we also have the half length for the dress. After doing this, I'll take my bust span measurement divided by 2 right there on the bust point, and also extend the same measurement to the half length of the dress. So I'll do that and then connect the 2 lines together with my straight ruler. Now I'll be doing the underbust tightening, and for this particular draft I am taking 1 inch to the left and 1 inch to the right, so a total of 2 inches for the underbust tightening. The same 2 inches will be extended to the half length, 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left. Now I'll connect the 2 points together on both sides of the pattern paper. Now using my curved ruler, I will then connect from the under bust to my bust point. I will connect using my curved ruler like so, and I will do that on both sides of this pattern paper. I'll flip it to the other side and repeat the same thing, connecting both sides together. So now to tighten the over bust of this off shoulder dress, whatever you have as your bust span measurement, extend it to the starting point line and then add up extra 1 inch to that value. So let's assume that the bust span divided by 2 is 4 inches. Now on the starting point line, I would add up 1 inch to that to make it 5 inches. So this was exactly what I did here, and then I will be connecting from the bust point to the mark that we have at the starting point line. So right there we'll be doing our over bust tightening for this particular off shoulder dress, and I'll be taking half inch on the left and half inch on the right for the tightening of this off shoulder dress, and connecting it right from the half inch into the bust point. So I'll be connecting both sides like so from the half inch into the bust point. Now after tightening the over bust, the next thing to do is to take the round measurements for this pattern, and I'll be dividing the bust by 4 and taking down measurements on the bust point. Now I would go ahead to get the measurement we have on the over bust line. That's for the darts. I'll be replacing it at the side. That's the 1 inch which was used for the tightening of the over bust. I replaced it on the bust point. So on the half length, I'll be taking the waist divided by 4 and then also replacing the dart intake for the underbust tightening. So I'll then proceed to the chest line. Whatever I have on my bust point, I would place it on the chest line. That's for the armhole. Yeah, I'll place it there, and I'll connect all the 3 points together with my ruler. So from the chest line, I'll connect into the half length. Now I'll be taking my bust dart, which is 1.5 inches for this pattern. I'll be taking that on the side front, and from that point I'll connect it to the bust span. That's the bust point. that we have there, 1.5 inches for the bust dart, and then I connected it to the bust point. Now the next thing I'll be doing is to shape the neckline for this off-shoulder dress. And to do that, you must have taken the pit-to-pit measurement of your client, which is also called across front. So for this particular pattern, it is 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. I marked that. And then the 1 inch, which was used for the over bust tightening, I also added it to that measurement. So this is where we have that. And then I'll be connecting from that point into the armhole. So the pit-to-pit measurement is just from one armhole on the front to the other armhole on the front. That's the across front. And for the back is from one armhole on the back to the other armhole on the back. It's called across back. So this is the pit-to-pit measurement which I referred to earlier. So right now I'll slash open the line at the over bust so as to close up the bust dart. So after closing the bust dart, there was no form of shortage there, so I am okay with what I have. The next thing I will do is to add up the sewing allowance on the pattern paper. So I added 2 inches to the side like so, and also to the waist, and then I will connect together like so. So the next thing now is to cut out the pattern that we have right here. So this is it after cutting. So we'll work on the back right now. So for the back, I have taken the 2 inches for the zipper, and from that point I'll be taking the pit to pit measurement, which is 6.5 inches. Same value that we used for the front is what I will use for the back. So from that point I'll place the 5 inches for the off shoulder and then mark the armhole depth. Now I would also be placing the 6.5 inches right on that point, and then I will mark it. So all of this measurement I took starting from the center back, not the zipper part of this pattern. I started from the center back. That's the thick line which we use the marker pen to highlight. That's the point where I started from. So I will now I would get the ruler and then mark the armhole like so. So right there, please ignore the line we have below the armhole. This line is actually the bust point line. So, and we don't have any bust at the back, so we will not be making use of that. So on the waistline, I'll go ahead to take the bust span divided by 2, and then I'll also come to the bust point line and mark it as well. Then I'll connect the 2 points together like so. But this time I would extend beyond the bust point 1 inch above the bust point. Yeah, I will take it 1 inch above the bust point, and I will take my half inch to the left, half inch to the right for the dart. That's the waist dart, and I'll connect from that half inch. I'll connect it to the 1 inch that we have above the bust point. So to be sure, I just placed my marker pen there to mark the 1 inch, and so I'll be connecting the dart legs to the 1 inch above the bust point line that we have there. I hope we understand this. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. After connecting my dart, I'll go ahead to do the back tightening of half inch, and this will be done on the zipper part. I'll take half inch like so, and I'll connect it from that point to the tip of the pattern paper. Here I'll connect the half inch to the starting point line. That's the tip of that point. So right now I'll be taking the round measurement on the pattern, and just to show you the points where I took every other measurement from, which is the center back, not the zipper part, and you see where I placed the ruler. I took the bust measurement divided by 4, and then I marked it right there on the armhole. And right here on the waist, I'll take the waist measurement divided by 4 and also mark it, and I'll add up the 1 inch for the dart also to that measurement, and then I will mark it as well. So for me, I usually do not replace my back tightening. That's the half inch for the back tightening. I do not replace it. But if you so wish as a beginner, you can actually also still replace the half inch. This is just to be safe. You can replace the half inch, but for this pattern I did not replace the half inch. So I'll be connecting my armhole. Since we already have the pit to pit measurements taken earlier, I will then connect my armhole to the starting point line for this off shoulder dress. And now I'll also be adding the 2 inches for the sewing allowance. I'll also be adding it right here on the pattern. After adding it, I'll cut out the pattern that we have for the back, because the back pattern is ready. So for this particular off-shoulder pattern, I actually want the front and the back straight. But if you don't want yours straight, you want a little curve or a little slanted line, then just feel free to come down at the center back by whatever value you want and then connect it straight to the armhole. So with that, you have the kind of shape you want for the back. So the same thing is applicable to the front. You can also give your front pattern whatever shape you want at the center front part of your pattern. So right here, this is what I have for the front and the back, and I've gone ahead to transfer my pattern to fabric. I added ½ inch all around the parts which we are yet to add our seam allowance. And remember that for the front, I added 2 inches on the side, and also for the back, I added 2 inches on the side. So here is actually the fabric I'm working with. Is a damask fabric, and to cut out the flare part of this dress, the first thing I did was to fold my fabric into two. So this is it. I folded my fabric first into two. Now after folding into two, I went ahead to fold again into two, and this time on triangle, which makes it about 4 layers. So this is exactly what I did here to cut out the flare part of this dress. Now, the first thing I did was to add up my waist measurement, which I am working with, plus the zipper allowance of 4 inches. So let's assume you are working with waist 33. So you add up 4 inches for the zipper allowance, which makes it 37. So right now, whatever you get at that point, you will divide it by 3.14, which is a standard to cut your 180-degree flare. Divide whatever you got by 3.14. So what I got is what I am marking at that point. I placed my tape rule just like so, and then I mark the radius of this dress round. So after doing that, I will then place my half length. The half length for this dress, I'll place it on that line which I just marked, and then I will extend the tape rule to get the full length of the dress. So I will place the tape rule like so to get the full length of the dress, and wherever it gets to, I will mark it. So now I'll be extending what I have marked there. I'll follow through my tape rule, and then I will extend that curve like so. Once I'm done doing that, I'll go ahead now and cut out that part which we just marked. I also cut out the radius which we marked for this dress, and this is what we have as the flare part of this off-shoulder dress. So thank you all for watching today's tutorial. I will see you all in my next tutorial. Bye.